There you go.
There it is.
There's the winner.
Back.
Look at that.
Back. Gone. We have a jam.
Showdown.
Yankees 12, Red Sox 11.
He's gone. He couldn't go all the way.
No hay arquero. ¿Quién le pega? ¡Golazo! ¡Poema de gol!
Well, there's a long ball through and
Oh my God, an insane goal! I've just seen the most insane goal I have ever seen on a football pitch. Incredible Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Fed on through and here's Rust. Rust delays to Kobe. Broughton can tip it. Bryant with the save.
Oh, you gotta get a shot here.
Final seconds. Bryant for the win. Bang!
Oh, go ahead. Do your little intro.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome. We are back on another Tuesday with another show, another live show. This is Earth2 Sports Talk with Weds and Mo. I am Mo.
And I'm Weds. What's up, people?
What's going on? What did you do All-Star Weekend? How was that like? What was that like?
I missed almost all the events. The Rising Star Challenge, I forgot about. But All-Star Saturday, I actually recorded everything, but I was out with for my friend's birthday. But the spot we were at, we ended up like watching the whole thing, like while we're sitting down waiting for food and getting food and eating stuff like that. I saw the whole thing, minus still, the commentaries and stuff like that. But I saw everything. But the All-Star game, I missed it, but I'm not mad at it because when I saw the comments, when I saw the score, when I saw everything said about it, I was like, I don't think I missed much. But we'll talk about that, as the show go on, man. How about you? And,
right.
Yeah.
How
about you, man?
That's
How was
very
your
interesting. Oh man, my weekend was pretty good. I was Saturday night. I was hanging out. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was hanging out. Didn't really have a chance to watch any of these games, or watch any of the events or the games, and But again, it's commentary and highlights and clips that I've used to catch myself up on. But let me ask you a question since we're on the topic, right? What does that say in the state of the NBA that people are like, oh, All-Star Weekend, I guess we can skip. It's not. You're not like super. Because I remember maybe 6, 7, maybe 10 years ago, you were watching everything. Like you were peeled. You wanted to see the dunk. The Titanic is a goated movie.
Anthony is starting early, man. He's starting early.
Yo, off the early. That's crazy. But what is it? What does it say? The question I think was also one of our topics that we're going to discuss today. What does it say that that this is where we are with the All-Star game? Take away from the All-Star game or from All-Star Weekend. What does it say that All-Star Weekend isn't what it used to be? Because 10 years ago, you wanted to watch the Rising Star game. You wanted to watch the dunk contest on Saturday. And then you wanted to see the game. Like the game mattered. What does it say now? This is where we are. Especially with the three. You remember when Clay and Steph did the 3-point challenge? That was dope.
What it tells me is that once upon a time, the All-Star Weekend was about All-Stars. Like that's what it means. It means once upon a time, the Rising Star Challenge means you saw the best Rising Stars pull up. When it comes to All-Star Saturday, whether it was skills challenge, 3-point contest, dunk contest, you saw the best of the best pull up. The dunk contest was 3 days ago, Saturday, right? It's Tuesday now. It was Saturday. Can you remember all 4 people that was in the dunk contest without looking it up?
Shit.
Exactly. No. You actually have to look it up. That's my point. My point is we're now at a point where
oh wow. I don't know what happened to Wetson, but I'm going to assume he was going to say we're now at a point where this is something that doesn't matter. Don't call it All-Star game because it's not. We're not at a point where I'm going to guess that Wetson was trying to say we're not at a point where it's just a popularity contest. when Wetson gets back, we will resume what he was talking about. But here's my thoughts on my take on the All-Star weekend. Right? It's okay. It's I think it's very indicative of the generation that's watching basketball now, and it's a shame because we're still that generation. We're still in the mix, but like I feel like they're catering more to the younger folks. If you look at the rising stars, like it's all about the younger folks, and it's not necessarily about us anymore. It's about the people who are going to be coming up watching basketball after we're done. And then I think you move past that, and then you go into the dunk contest. I think the dunk contest is kind of weird because for years they've been asking like LeBron and all the superstars to join in and do the dunk contest. But I think people who do great in-game dunks, are not people who can do like I don't see people who do great in-game dunks as dunk contest people. Like you spend like a whole month prepping a dunk package for the dunk contest. No, you're just a good in-game dunker. You can get air, but like it's a lot of stuff. And I think the dunk contest, like this is what no one is going to talk about. But the dunk contest peaked when Zach LaVine and homeboy from Orlando, help me out, Anthony. I know you're watching. When the dunk contest peaked when Zach LaVine and Brody from Orlando were in it. That's the peak of the dunk contest. Anything else, put it in the trash. I don't think we're gonna see any dunk contest live up to the hype. I'm right here. I can hear you. I don't think we're gonna see any dunk contest live up to the hype of live up to the hype of Zach LaVine and who was it again? Wetson. Zach LaVine and what's his name? That oh my goodness. Well, he's figuring out his technical difficulties, but no. You're right. He did shut down Black History Month, and that's kind of crazy that the other 3 black dunkers inside of the dunk contest couldn't do anything. And that's wild to me. That is very wild to me. So I think I don't remember what Weston was trying to say. Let me see. Let's see if Weston can figure his shit out today so we can do this show. Because he is really tripping me out right now. You back? Can you hear? Oh my gosh. You're out, bro. You're out. Get out. So yeah, like I think those are the 2 things that's my biggest takeaway is that the big events, like the dunk contest and the 3-point challenge. I mean, Dame did his thing. Dame did his thing for the 3-point challenge. That's a good face because he is a superstar and he is an all-star. And that's what the NBA needs is an all-star to win an all-star challenge. So Dame winning the 3-point challenge is something that I think is super important for the NBA or for the face of that particular challenge. Now, the skills challenge, the rising star challenge, all those things, like they phased out. It's unfortunate, but all the stuff that we used to love about the All-Star game or All-Star weekend, all that stuff is phased out. We are no longer excited about that stuff. And this is what I think this is what's going to lead us into our next topic. I still don't know if Weston can hear me, but I'm moving on to how does the NBA fix the All-Star game, to the actual All-Star game itself? I think this is the biggest problem that All-Star weekend has. This is the biggest problem that All-Star weekend has is the actual game itself. Now, when you watch the All-Star game, and Anthony, you've already talked about how you feel about that. It's not good. Watching paint dry is better than an All-Star game. It's people are watching the All-Star game, right. Or people who are playing in the All-Star game aren't playing like they're not playing. They're having fun. There's no defense. There's no stakes in the All-Star game. Do you know that? When it was East versus West, that used to be a thing because the Eastern Conference wanted to win for bragging rights for a whole year. This is where the best basketball comes from is the East, or this is where the best basketball comes from is the West. But okay, so here's the question to you, Anthony. there are no stakes in the All-Star game. At this point, there's no stakes. The more they keep doing this format, right? The more they keep doing this format of the more they keep doing this format of pick your best player, like this is a team captain here, pick a best player and let's all play. The more y'all keep doing that format, the more I feel like no one is gonna want to really play because there's no stakes. So I think the best way to fix the All-Star game is to add stakes back into the contest. Maybe bring back East versus West and have. Also, you could do fresh blood, but that's okay. It's best versus best, but again, there's no stakes. You want to score 50 points. I want to score 50 points. So I'm not going to play defense because I'm going to let you cook. I'm going to let you fry. The exciting moments, like I think LeBron's off the backboard dunk to himself. It is supposed to be best on best. LeBron's off the backboard to himself. Jason Tatum's off the backboard to himself. Like stuff like that is exciting, but what are you playing defense for? You're not playing defense. It's not bragging rights anymore. Every single player from the All-Star game wants to win the All-Star MVP. That is the biggest piece of bragging rights there is. Not necessarily what conference. Like it used to be, what conference is the best, right? Is it the East or the West? That was the bigger stakes. The East played out because the East will ball because everyone kept saying the East was weak. So hell, I'm gonna ball hard as shit, so no one can talk shit about how weak my conference is anymore. West, we're the best. We're gonna ball out, and we're gonna show you that the West is the best. When everyone wants to score 50 points, of course, and we're all friends. It's not gonna be any defense. There's no competition anymore. My thing is to bring back competition, and This is a good question. Are you mad? Are you more mad that All-Star Game was lame or everybody was too injured to play? LeBron is coming off his injury. He's been trying to rest. He's been trying to rest all season to come back to at least make the All-Star Game or All-Star Weekend, and then try to help his team push. Right? He's been hurt. Steph, who's supposed to be in the All-Star Game, hurt. Giannis got hurt weeks before. All of these players are hurt. All of these players are hurt, right? Everyone is hurt, and no one is playing. So, I think this is where you have your alternates step in, and I don't even know how you fix that. There's no way you can't fix injuries, right? I just feel like no one wants to play anymore. In these games, in this day and age, no one wants to play because you don't want to go too hard and potentially get hurt. So that's what everyone is playing like. It's all lackadaisical.
Cap.
Bro, it's it's facts, bro. It's facts.
You know how you know it's fair, bro? Question for you, bro. How many injuries have we had in the All-Star games prior?
We had one this weekend.
No. We had one prior to this weekend. You want to know who it was? D. Wade broke Kobe's nose. That was the one.
That's probably Kobe's fault.
No, it wasn't. But because D Wade wanted to go harder and whatever, and he broke Kobe's nose in that one. That was the one injury we've had in the All-Star game in the last 30 years, as far as I can remember. 30 years.
But that's the thing. I think. But here's my point. No one wants to play like that because it's just it's bragging rights, right?
Bro,
that's what the All-Star game is. Hear me out. I understand what you're saying. Huh?
It wasn't a concern. It wasn't something. It's not like. Okay, go ahead. I'll let you go.
For the fans, obviously not, right? Obviously the fans are, oh my God, no one cares. I promise you, as a player, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with that's wrong with the football. That's wrong with the Pro Bowl. It is. No one wants to play super hard because you fuck around and you get hurt. Again, injuries. The scale of injuries matter, right? Hold on, the scale of injuries matter. Wetson, let me ask you this: would you, okay, everyone is playing super cautious, try not to injure anyone, right? You're not going to push anyone that's going for a dunk like you would play regular defense in the NBA. Mm-hmm. So you play a little softer, right? Mm-hmm. one is playing hard. That's the truth. No one is playing hard. That's just defense in general. This is my second point right quick before you jump. I'm gonna let you jump in because I've been talking for like 15 minutes. I'm gonna let you jump in. This is my second point, right? Now, everyone wants to score 30 points in these games. I mean, have you seen the fucking score? Everyone wants to shoot deeper threes. Everyone wants to do stylistic dunks.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good point. Have it at the end of the season. Maybe. That's one way to fix it. But here's my second point. Everyone wants to be the star. You don't have any stakes. When it was East versus West, that was stakes. Because even if the MVP came from the West and the West won, right? The bragging rights were bigger because it's like the Eastern Conference for 1 year is better than the Western Conference. It didn't necessarily translate to the finals because that's how you know which conference really, really is better. But like in the terms of who are the best players or where the best players reside, the best players, my team was better than your team. Now it's the popularity contest and who's more friendly, who's friendlier with LeBron or Giannis that gets picked.
All right.
There are no stakes.
Okay.
I think you add stakes back into it. I think you bring back East versus West.
Here's a couple of things.
You have man.
One, my bad, bro. I accidentally unplugged my computer while I was literally mid-sentence about
shaking my head. My jaw hurts from talking so goddamn much.
All right, I'll take over for a minute, bro. But here's the thing,
please.
What I was saying was the fact that once upon a time, when you had the All-Star weekend, it was All-Star weekend. You had the best rising stars. You had the best rookies. Remember when it was like rookie versus sophomore? You had the best of those guys.
Yes, it was rookie versus sophomore. Yes,
and then skills challenge had guys like Nash,
Steve
Chris
Nash.
Paul.
Yeah,
you had those kind of guys.
Jason
right?
Kidd. Yeah.
And then by the time we get to 2-point contest, right? We had guys who were out, guys who were cooking during the season, guys who had over 100, who had over 150, 200, 200 threes, by that point in the season. Well, maybe not 200, but not too many guys.
MJ.
But we've had guys like that in the contest. By the time we get to dunk contest, bro, I watched the dunk contest. The only person I remember from that dunk contest is a guy who won, Mac McClung. That's one person I remember from the dunk contest. I can't. Oh no, Kenya Martin Jr. I remember him because I remember Kenya Martin coming out to throw him an alley-oop. So once upon a time, we had those actual guys participating in, actual stars participating in those. Now you have the 10th, 11th guy on the bench who dunked 3 times in a game. We're like, yeah, let's put him in the dunk contest. You have all stars. Do you know how much the league would, how much the fans would beg for a dunk contest, including the Zach LaVines of the world, Ja, who's who loves to talk, who's been dunking wild crazy in sports, in the game. But when it comes dunk contest, bro, okay, the dunk I've seen this guy try in game. You can't tell me dunk contest is more dangerous than that. You know how I know that? Because you would try to dunk over a 7-footer on some wild jump on a fast break. But on a dunk contest where you guys have to throwing you lobs or just try practicing dunks, you don't want to do that. Okay, hold on.
People are still dunking over 7-footers in dunk contests, bro. So
but the things in reality.
And granted, he's not trying to stop you from dunking. That's the biggest difference.
So so it's like so again, and guess what? You don't have to try to dunk over a 7-footer. You could do something else. Mac McClung Mac McClung did like 3 dunks that did not involve dunking over somebody else. And a 6'2". So again, there's a dunk contest there, right? So you put a bunch of, for lack of a better term, nobodies in those things. Nobody's interested in watching them anymore. And then you get to the All-Star game, right? All-Star games would end if All-Star game, and I'm say 15, 20 years ago ended 120 to 115. It was considered a high-scoring game. You know what the score was for last All-Star game? 184 to 175. 184 in 48 minutes. These guys play harder in summer league. These guys play harder in summer league. These guys play harder. These guys, what you call it? Yo, Anthony, you're wrong for that one, bro. No, but we're talking about
they do play harder at the summer league. They play harder in like the LA
these guys that shoot around, you know,
and
in
all
regular
the
gym,
yeah.
they shoot arounds, you know, where it's like, you know, in the summer,
yeah.
They play harder there than they play in an All-Star game. So then, you know, when you say, you know, when you talk about the injury, we cannot compare it to football whatsoever. Why? Because basketball and football are not the same physicality-wise. Football, if a running back is running down the field, you have to tackle him to drop him. During that tackle, you could injure your shoulder, you could injure yourself, you could injure him. In an All-Star game, you play basketball like you play basketball, you know, regularly. That's really all you do. If you just play,
like you're a little softer. You're a little softer. You're a little softer in defense because it's not that serious.
If you're talking about the best in the world, and you guys are playing like it's shoot around, these guys play better in practice. I've seen these guys play better in practice, in summer league game, and you know, in workout games. But let me ask you this. Imagine going to a game where you watch the absolute best. Let's take it away from basketball. Let's take the Olympics, for example. Imagine if the Olympics were just a bunch of guys, best guy from Russia, best guy from China, best guy from from Morocco. All these guys get together, just let's just do a quick run around quick lap around the field. It looks stupid, right? So guess what?
Correct. But let me ask you. Go ahead. But what are the stakes? Why are we playing this game? Why are we playing super hard?
To prove and that's another thing. Like you said, you could raise the stakes.
Yes,
before
there's no stakes anymore.
I'm saying raise the stakes. Since you guys don't want to get injured, play for a charity. Do something. Play East versus West.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Do something. To
because
make it. But
when they play these summer league games, is because they're playing this a low pro-am game. You have amateurs there. You don't want these amateurs to outdo you. You have LeBron James scoring 30, 40 points on someone who just woke up that morning, went to his 9 to 5, and had to come guard LeBron James. Like stuff like that. There's way more. But that's the thing. There's way more stakes in the summer league game because if you are LeBron, or if you are, what's that guy from that just went to Atlanta, from San Antonio? DeJounte Murray. And you let a regular 9 to 5 guy do you up in a summer league game, you will never hear the end of it. So you have to play super hard in that game so you don't get talked about. So now you're playing with your friends, guys like in the NBA. There's no stakes, bro.
Okay, but hold on. Tell you what though. I'm gonna tell you right now. I play ball. I play sports in general. I play with my own brother. When me and my own brother, I'm talking like the one that came out of the same womb as I did. When I play with him on the court, oh no, I treat him like an enemy. I treat him like an absolute enemy. I'm talking like the things we say to each other, the things we do, we just mind you, we're just playing
you again. And I'm gonna ask you again. Is it bragging rights? Because if your brother beats you, is your younger brother? You're a younger brother, right?
Younger brother, yeah.
If he beats you, will you hear the end of it?
No, he'll remind me that forever.
Exactly. So again, you have more stakes in your personal game with your brother than NBA players because they're all friends. They all make money, bro. They all make money. There's unless if they made it like this, right? There's a lower tier of NBA superstars versus a higher tier of NBA superstars, so that like if it's all five, like LeBron, Luka, Jason Tatum, and Joker and Embiid, like I'm just throwing out a starting five.
Yeah.
Versus say like give me like maybe Desmond Bain. No. I'm saying five superstars versus like a Desmond Bain versus like give me just DeJounte Murray, like four not lower tier stars. Yeah. That is a state game because if Desmond Bain, DeJounte Murray beat a team with LeBron James, Steph, do you understand what would happen on the internet?
Yeah.
That is one way to fit. You have to add stakes into this game because, again, when you have stars like Steph on one side of the team and you have KD on one side of the team, these guys, bro, I'm because the last one. In the last 6 years, what defense have you seen the scores in the last 6 years of the All-Star game? They've just been going up and up. No one is playing.
It's been trash
Because
for a while.
again,
But guess what?
yes,
like I said,
because they
hold
took
on,
the
hold on,
stakes
hold on,
out.
hold on, hold on. I mentioned it's been trash for a while, but I also mentioned that yeah. So what you call it? That's basically what you do with it right now. So I'm saying, I'm telling you, I'm
Yeah,
talking
pretty
about back
much.
then when you had East versus
Have an
West before
exhibition.
these guys had all-star jerseys where it was like the all-star game is in an East Coast state. Then guess what? East Coast wear the home jersey, West Coast wear the away jersey, right? And which you normally tend to be like so it's like if if you're gonna do it, like I've seen the game be competitive. I've seen guys like Shaq getting an all-star game, Kobe getting an all-star game. He's like, yo, I'm not gonna be outplayed by this guy, or that. Especially these guys would treat the all-star game, back then, the way they would treat some teams you only play twice a year. And let's say, oh man, I missed that game against it because I had an ankle injury, whatever. When it comes to all-star game and you're going against that guy, on the opposite side, the guy who's
Yes, has been talking shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Now the
You want to
problem
go
is
hard.
Yeah, exactly. The problem is now the NBA has gotten to a point where it's like, oh my God, let's all hold hands, sing kumbaya. We don't want to compete anymore. Nobody's competing anymore. They're just like playing for fun.
It's a fun game. It's a fun exhibition game. So again,
you know what is
raise
fun?
the stakes.
You know what's fun? You know what's fun?
Mm-hmm.
Beating your opponent's ass. That's fun. Bragging rights. That's
listen.
Fun.
I think you raise the stakes. Like I said, the best way to fix it is to have a team of all superstars.
LeBron James. If I'm LeBron James, I pull up to the court on All-Star Weekend, and I sit there. I do a move, whatever. And I drop to the basket. And I dunk on somebody. I'm like, yo, just so you know, I'm proving to you that I'm the best. I'm the best at this ever. In my opinion, I'm the best at this ever. In my opinion, guess what? I'm going to prove it to you every single time I step on the court. Some guys, okay, I remember, you've heard this time and time again when guys like Kobe say, "Yo, said I don't know if these people never see me play before. I don't see these people when they come out, I'm going to ball, I'm going to compete, I'm going to play." But now everybody's like, "Oh, come on, it's just it's just quick fun game, just chilling." Yo, play the game. And in fact, play the game at the same level you play on a regular. If their All-Star game were played like these guys play on a random January or February game, in the middle of in Utah somewhere. If they play like that, the game would be more competitive. But now they play it like nobody does anything. This is
That's right.
Put a ball here, shoot a three.
Yeah, everyone is shooting threes from logo. You're shooting logo threes. You're self-passing. I think back in the 90s when everyone wore their team jerseys, no one was doing a self-lob, because if you throw that ball up there, I'm going to get it. Now people are letting people self-lob. Like, they're letting people lob off the glass.
First time McGrady threw a lob to himself in the All-Star game, everybody was like, whoa, how did y'all let this happen? Now, these guys pull up a half court. It's like freaking Moses got to get to the Red Sea. These guys part ways and just go there, drop the ball on the floor, catch an alley-oop. I'm like,
right. So great question here. NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB. I think MLB has the best All-Star weekend.
Yes, because the NBA has been trash. The NFL is always trash. I haven't seen too many of the NHL All-Star weekends, but
NHL All-Star weekend is like that because they still play and them niggas still be fighting. Well, at least for the All-Star games, they still be fighting.
So there you go. There you go. I want more. I want that.
The thing is, when you, like you said, when there's a team with a guy who you fought 2 weeks ago and you got put in the penalty box, and now you had that week break and you come and you see him again, that beef is never squashed, bro. And I think what makes MLB like top tier is home run derby is unmatched. That is like the 3-point contest and the quarterbacks contest put together. Again, you're getting soft pitch, but you still got to knock it. You still got to knock it out the park.
Of course, Jake would say all bow down to a dunk contest because a white boy won.
Ain't nobody. I ain't putting that up there.
No,
I ain't putting that up there.
No,
all
but
right,
no.
Let's shift gears a little bit, and let's talk about post All-Star break. What is the expectations for the season? What teams do you have? Like, okay, what teams are you looking at now? Like, okay, All-Star, all that. The first half of the season is done. All right, buckle up, tighten your pants, and let's get it done. What teams are you looking at like that?
Boston, because Boston now has said, yo, We got a taste of what this is like. We got to the promised land. We couldn't get it done. Boston's playing now like, yo, you know what? From this point forward, we are the team to fear. And they're playing
Not
like
Boston going back.
They're playing.
Not Boston going back.
I got Boston going back. Because, I mean, I got them right there with Milwaukee, but I think Boston is a little more hungry. Because Milwaukee's tasted, has tasted, victory.
Glory.
Yeah, they've tasted glory. And, and although Giannis is still, he's very much a competitor, but once you've tasted it, you feel like, you know what, if I don't get it.
Yeah, I feel like, it's all right.
It's okay. No, I've been there. But Boston now, they're like, yo, we were there. We got close. Because, in that series, they were close. They couldn't close it out.
Very
so
close.
now,
they just couldn't close it.
For me, in the East,
one or two
is
games.
Boston.
Yeah.
For me, in the East is Boston. And in the West,
we good in the West. I'm fine in the West. I'm fine in the West. Yeah. Oh, Boston will not win it in the East. Oh wow. That's bold. I think
Milwaukee can still be a problem for them, but that's not. But I'll wait. But I think a surprising team in the East would be Cleveland because they've been balling. I think that would be a surprising team. So for me, So for me, it's like, I think for me, Boston is the one going back, but the team to keep a lookout for me is Cleveland. Philly, I feel like Philly is just being exactly what they are. I don't see Philly actually taking the next step.
I don't see them. Yeah, they don't have no. It's like they have no heart. They have no fight.
Exactly. But then again, everybody on the team is just like they're just happy to be playing basketball. They just love playing basketball. Just play basketball for fun.
They just hooping.
That's what it looks like.
Hoopers, right?
Exactly. Yeah. They just hooping. Like,
so Weston, you find in the West? We good in the West, right?
Bro,
what are you worried about in the West?
From the time he said he was finding the West, that man has this team has been getting
cooked. My God!
He's been getting cooked.
He's been getting cooked.
The whole West
crazy.
Kyrie went to Dallas. What should we call it? Kyrie went to Dallas. KD went to Phoenix. And like like Anthony just said, Clippers. But my problem with the Clippers is I just don't believe in the Clippers. Because I feel
I don't either.
Here's why I don't believe in the Clippers. I feel like they don't have a guy that will rally the troops and tell them, listen, bro, do XYZ. Listen to what XYZ. Because Kawhi is great.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Let me finish real quick.
Yeah,
because great as Kawhi is, Kawhi plays like a mercenary to me. He doesn't play like this is my team, I'm going to do XYZ. He plays like a mercenary. Like, like I'm going to get there, do my part, and let the chips fall where they may. Win or lose, he doesn't care.
Whatever happens. Yeah.
I've seen.
I did my part.
Which was somebody mentioned, like, I was talking to my brother, and this was a couple of years ago when Toronto won. I was like, Kawhi treat winning the NBA Finals like a 9-to-5. Like, it's almost like they give him Employee of the Month award at the end of the season, and he goes home like, he's like, how was work? Oh, it was great. We won the championship. What's for dinner? Like, I feel like that's how he treats, the game. Like, he's not like, I get he's quiet. He's a quiet kind of guy, but he's not very much like, like, oh man, I'm good to, but he's just like, all right, I'm good. I did my part. We lost. Cool. Life goes on. I feel like nobody in Clippers have that, for lack of a better term, that dog in them. They don't play with a chip on their shoulder. The Clippers don't play like, we've been treated like a stepchild for as long as we've been around, and nobody's taking us seriously. They don't treat it like, they don't play with a chip on their shoulder, and that's a problem for me. Because I feel like the guys who win it are the guys who play like they have a chip on their shoulder. When Giannis won against, when Giannis, won a couple of years ago, and they were talking about Phoenix. Oh my God, Phoenix. Giannis went there. Like,
Giannis can't shoot free throws. What did he do that one game? 17 for 19. Like, bro, he was lights out. He scored 50 points in one. He played 40. He played all the minutes in one game, bro. Like, insane.
Again, that is somebody.
Wasn't it against Brooklyn? He hurt his ankle and still played every game
because certain guys got that dog in them, and that's the difference with me. So I feel like so that's why I'm the Clippers. The Clippers are just another super talented team. They are super talented and they are stacked. They are loaded. I watched a team play the other night. There's nobody on the team who can ball from 1 to 12. Everybody on the team ball, but they just play like they just are really really good hoopers. Nobody seems to like there's even Ty Lue. Ty Lue's a very good coach, but he don't put the fire on the team's back. He don't do that. So because of that, that's why
doesn't he have a championship?
He does, but then again, who got the championship with? The guy, somebody who got the dog in him, LeBron. Somebody who played with a chip on his back, somebody who played with a chip on his shoulder. That's the difference. So because of that,
every fucking game, that's crazy. So you know what? That's a great segue. Let's ask you about the Lakers. You're a Lakers fan. You guys need to win 20 plus games from here on out, right? Because it's about 27 games. You guys need to win either all or lose 2 games to make it to the finals, to make it to the play-in or playoffs. Play-in. What do you think? Yeah. Like, this team looks new, right? This team looks new. This team is fine. The team. Okay. All right. That's it.
That's it. They're not gonna make it. You know why? Because
you have to win too many games.
No. Not only that, but nobody cares enough. LeBron's playing with house money right now. LeBron don't care anymore. LeBron's like, yo, at this point.
So ever since this happened.
Ever since that happened, Ever since that happened, LeBron's like, yo, I don't care anymore. Like, yo, at this point, like, yo, what are you gonna say to me? I don't care about the game. I've given 20 years of my life to it. Or I don't care about winning. Like I've won plenty of time. So LeBron at this
I've
point,
won everywhere I've been.
Like, so for him, it's like he doesn't care anymore. He doesn't care to win anymore. He doesn't care to listen. Once upon a time, some guys be like, oh, I'll play through injury. I'll play through this. LeBron's not there anymore. And AD is made of glass. And AD at this point, he's
at 38, I'm not playing through injuries at 38 anymore, bro. Especially if I've done everything I need to do.
I'm not saying LeBron needs to play through injuries.
I'm answering you.
I'm saying he just doesn't care. He doesn't care no more. You could tell at this point he doesn't care. Like, you could tell, you win whatever, you lose whatever.
Is that a bad thing? I ask you a question. Is that a bad thing?
To me, it is. Especially
because it's hurting your team. Or is it a bad thing for basketball? Or is it a bad thing because it's hurting your team?
Both. Because that's the problem with the NBA overall now. People don't compete like they used to. People play the game for fun now, just for fun. Which again, it's a fun game.
One more question before. Sorry. So is it okay now? Do you think it's because of where the point the Lakers are at this season, and it's like we got to win this many games? If they can't, or do you think he said to himself, I don't think we can win these many games, so there's no need for me to play as hard? Because if there was a chance for them to win, if they're winning out, and if there's a chance, do you think he plays through everything?
If there was a chance,
think he cares enough to? Yes.
If there was a bigger chance, there was a high, because of course there's a chance because the league,
right? Of course, every game, right? Yeah.
If there was a more realistic chance, if there was a more realistic chance, then I think he does. But I think then again, I think from the beginning of the season, especially since he's been in LA, and he's seen that LA basically like mortgage the whole team to get AD, and then AD come and play however amount of games, which actually in retrospect,
he's not street clothes. You know who street clothes really is? The
Kawhi,
niggas, the other niggas, yeah.
Kawhi street clothes at this point.
Kawhi's really street clothes.
Kyrie is street clothes at this point.
Kyrie, a lot of these guys, KD could be street clothes. A lot of these guys are street clothes.
So, but it's just like so because of that, I think it's just at the point that now he doesn't care anymore. He's just like, you know what,
I think LeBron plays with chances at this point. I don't know if he. I'm sorry, I'm answering the question. I'm sorry. I think he plays with chances. I think he plays with chances. It's like, why am I going to put my body through 80-something games if the chances aren't high enough? Because if you play as many games, I'm sorry. Here's my thing. If you play as many games as AD, you mortgage your future on AD being the next person to carry this team. You're asking, and AD misses those many games. Russ, Russ is Russ, but you've gotten rid of him now. Russ is Russ.
But you know what though?
Pat Beverly's Pat Beverly.
But you know what though? Getting rid of Russ. I'm like, okay, great. I'm glad you got rid of Russ, but you also don't have a scapegoat anymore. Because that's what we're doing.
You think so?
Russ was
I mean, at this point, okay. If
you know why it's easy to blame Russ?
It's easy to blame AD.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
It's easy. No. Here's what I'm saying. It's easy to blame Russ. You know why? Russ is not likable. Russ is not a guy that like he's liked by very few. He's not a guy that make you feel like he's not the NBA sweetheart. LeBron, the NBA treat LeBron, like this, and that's what guess what? That's what they've been doing for so long now. So, but Russ is not that. Russ is abrasive. Russ says whatever he wants. Russ doesn't like. He doesn't listen. He's not likable. So because of that, it's easy to blame Russ. Meanwhile, if I were to tell you that that a lot of teams LeBron goes to, that once he leaves, that team is left in disarray. Once he leaves, that team has nothing left.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Please tell me a team. Please tell me a team. Hold on. You don't think so? That's fine. Please tell me a team that LeBron has left that has gotten better after he left.
I mean, he's usually the best player on the team, and if we're being very honest, nobody is better when your best player leaves.
It's not just that.
When he left Cleveland, when he left Cleveland the first time, who did they have? Who did they have that you could say, you know what, this piece, we're fine with LeBron leaving? Who did they have?
Here's what I was getting.
When he left Miami, when he left Miami, Dwayne Wade had bad knees at that point, and Dwayne Wade's career started going downwards. LeBron is smart in that regard. I don't think he leaves.
Every team he leaves goes down the drain because to get him the players that he wants, to get him the team that he wants, they have to mortgage the entire team. That's what happens every single time. So the moment he comes there, he do what he does, and he leaves. It's like, okay, great. We had him for 2 years. We had him for 4 years, or we had him for however long. Once he leaves, your team have no future now. There's been no team that has a future with the moment LeBron leaves them. So, and don't get me wrong. For example, right? I would say right now. You look at Brooklyn. Before KD got to Brooklyn looked similar to how they look now. They did a bunch of trade. They did whatever. Got KD, got Kyrie, got Harden, got Simmons. They did all that. After all those guys are gone, Brooklyn still looked like a Brooklyn team that could make the play. That has some kind of future. That looked like they could do something. Bro, the Nets are gonna make the playoff with the team they have now. They could make the playoff because, well, not only because of,
so you're telling me but can I say one more thing? KD's not LeBron. No one is looking at KD and saying, you know what, I'm gonna give you the house. I'm gonna give up the house to get you. No team does that.
No, but
I mean, Phoenix did. Phoenix Jalai did.
Yeah, but because Phoenix got a point now. They're like, listen, they're all in because they're like, listen, we cannot, we don't have much hope left if we don't do something now. Because CP3 that we're gonna pay for the next 3 years, we can't count on him being
Yes.
Yeah, we can't count on CP3 being the CP3 of like 2010, 2011. We can't count on that anymore. We can't count on Lob City CP3 anymore. So because of that, that's what they mortgage. That's what they were able to like empty the roster to get KD because they only last attempt. But what I'm saying is the fact that as far as LeBron goes, like I said, man, the team that the moment he leaves is because in order to get LeBron, in order to keep LeBron, in order to keep LeBron happy in any team he goes to, you have to mortgage them.
I don't know.
Bro,
I think that's a myth.
Please tell me a team that didn't mortgage house.
I'm gonna. Okay, let me ask you. So LeBron going to Miami, D Wade, Chris Bosh.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron took a pay cut to go to Miami. True or false? He wasn't making the money LeBron is making now, where he's like optioning, or when he went back to Cleveland, where he was optioning.
Why did he take a pay cut?
Because in order to get Chris Bosh a max, Dwayne Wade was also going to sign up, re-sign to get max. In order to keep those 3 players, you have to do that. But this is what they also did.
Because he orchestrated this.
Okay, that is a narrative, and it's false. You know what? What we're not gonna hold on. What we're not gonna do here is turn this show into a LeBron. Hold on. What we're not gonna do here is turn the show into a LeBron. So what we're gonna do is table this subject right here and save it for another day because we have other things to talk about. Is that fair? That's because fair. this will turn into a whole day. It's a whole show on its own.
That's fair.
Because I've thought about it. I thought to myself, what other player has come into the NBA with expectations, met expectations, and those expectations kept getting shifted, right? Every time he met an expectation, it moved. What other player has been able to do that since Jordan? What LeBron? Anyways, so let's table that. So expectation for the season: Lakers aren't gonna make it. Phoenix is in. Dallas.
No. Dallas don't.
And
Dallas,
Clippers,
Dallas not deep enough. Clippers don't seem. Clippers don't seem like
two ball hogs. Did you see that game they lost where it was like they kept passing up the final shot to the other guy? I mean, granted, defense kept pushing up.
But just sidebar, that was LeBron and Wade in 2011 in Miami, bro. They're like, that's what they do. They're like, oh no, you take it. No, you take it. Like, bro, it wasn't until they're like, yo, bro, you do it. Let's accept the fact that now you're the man. Let's go see you. But they don't do that, and that's why, like Clippers is is talented, but I feel like I don't believe in them yet. They have to prove themselves to me. And but what so my sleeper team in the East, Cleveland. The team I think is going to make it is Boston. My team I think is going to make it in the West. I'm gonna say Phoenix. I'm gonna say Phoenix. But if I had to pick a sleeper team, I say Denver. But again, Denver. But like Denver, I feel like they don't got somebody who like Jamal Murray 3 years ago.
They don't have a real second option. Jamal Murray is not the same Jamal Murray from I feel you.
So because of that, I'm like, I feel like I consider them a sleeper team, but at the same time, like I think, because I feel like if they come down to it, they can beat the Clippers in a 7-game series.
Right.
I feel like Phoenix can beat the Clippers in a 7-game series.
We're about to do 3 rapid-fire topics before we get to the last topic of the day real quick. So the first one, Russell Westbrook has been waived by Utah. What team is a good fit for him? Here's my thoughts on that. Yes. Mm-hmm. I think this is what I think this is the guy the Clippers need. This is why when you were saying they don't have anybody to galvanize them, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. Russell Westbrook isn't always the best player on the team, but what he did because there's 2 teams he can go to. He can call KD and be like, yo, let's run it back. Come off the bench on that team because CP3 isn't CP3. Russell spells him and Phoenix makes it all the way. Or he goes to LA and says, you know what? The other LA didn't like me or they didn't treat me well or they scapegoated me. Let me win one in LA and show them that I am not the guy that they thought I was. And then he fits right in that team. He comes off the bench. Because he doesn't need to start. He's proven that he doesn't. This season, when he was coming off the bench, he did pretty good. He doesn't need to start. Those are the 2 teams that I like for him. Oh wait, he's in Clippers already? Oh wow. Oh, he's going. He said it yesterday. There you go.
Okay, because I was gonna say I agree with you. I agree with you with the Clippers one, but the Phoenix one.
You don't think he should call KD and run it back?
No.
Oh, you think KD's not gonna want him?
No, I think those 2 are toxic together. That's what it is. I think they're toxic together, like because when they played together, initially in OKC, I feel like KD needed to be, he needed to prove, he needed to be like the alpha man, the alpha in that team, but he was acting more like second best. Although he was the best player on the team, he played like he acted like he was second best. Like, oh yeah, I don't need the ball. Bro, you need to demand the ball. I need you to say, hey, Russ, I'm easily the most effective scorer you've ever seen. I could do this from anywhere on the court. I'm not asking for the ball on every single play, but come on now. At the end of the game, please don't drop to the basket and get a turnover. Find me. He wasn't the guy to say that. So
do you think this is the next question?
Before we get that one. So the second team I was gonna say Boston. Boston.
Ooh.
Bring him off the bench. because bring him off the bench. He gives you the same energy with the second unit, and the second unit can ball. So I say
yes,
Boston. I say Boston. Send him there, but he was going Clippers. That's another one. Is a good option.
right,
And
right. But before we leave this real quick, let me ask you this question. So do you think KD has evolved to the player to say, "Hey, I'm Batman, give me the ball," or no?
No, he's still
right.
not that guy.
Next rapid fire topic. Kyrie has responded to the people talking about him demanding a trade. I think he officially said, "Hey, like, what's so wrong in me asking for a trade?"
What's wrong with the guy making the best
why does it,
business decision for himself?
Like, why doesn't anyone else? Yeah, why doesn't anybody else? Why shouldn't anybody have the ability to ask for a trade? That's my question. When did it become a terrible thing to make a business decision for yourself, your happiness, your peace of mind? Not every employee you get you gel with and all that stuff. And I think he has a point. And this is why I think he has a point. I think people are a little harsh on Kyrie. I know you're gonna say you shouldn't hold hands, and your favorite thing to do is say hold hands and sing kumbaya, but like, people are harsh on Kyrie. Yes, Kyrie has brought on a lot of the criticisms on himself, but players ask for trades all the time. And we don't spend months and months and months, or we don't spend as much time as we spend talking about it. But when Kyrie does it, it becomes like, oh my God, the sky is falling.
Bro,
I think that's the point.
Kyrie demanding a trade is like LeBron hopping to a different team now. It's annoying at this point. Like, that's what it is. Because, bro, Kyrie has, like, basically whined his way out of every team he's been in since Cleveland. He's whined his way out of every team he's been in. Like, bro, at this point, either you're gonna play the game or you're not. And Kyrie has and like, there's a Haitian proverb that says, people will throw rocks and then hide their hand, so you don't know who throw it, right? It doesn't translate well in English, but that's what it shows. Kyrie would do some nonsense or say some nonsense, and he'd be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you guys are treating me this way." Kyrie asked for a trade like 3 times in Brooklyn since he got there, and now now when he finally got it, he was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you guys are treating me bad for asking for a trade." Like, bro, you asked to go to Brooklyn, you asked to go to Boston, you like, bro, everything you asked for, they gave you, and you're still whining about it. You can't have it your way all the time, bro. You can't have the people like, you can't demand a trade and then be surprised that people are mad at you demanding a trade. Duh. What do you mean? What's gonna happen? That's how it goes. So that's why I'm like, I'm annoyed with Kyrie with that. Like, come on, bro. You did, like, you demand your trades, you'll stand on it. Say it with your chest. Like, yeah, demand a trade, so what? But like, oh my God, I can't believe you guys, oh yeah, what's wrong with the guy asking for, to make it, bro? At this point, playing in Brooklyn with KD, that was you and KD's idea.
I mean, of course, but again, like I said, he's brought on most of the criticism.
Okay, question for you. If you're Brooklyn, what reason do you have to pay Kyrie?
Kyrie hasn't played basketball. Like, when I say basketball, I mean like meaningful basketball in so long in Brooklyn. So yes, I am restructuring your contract. I'm not giving you a max deal. I'm bringing your money down. So if you want to go somewhere else. You're not my problem anymore.
That's what I'm saying. If you're Brooklyn, you have no reason to give Kyrie what he wants. You have no reason to pay Kyrie. No. None. Because when you
let him be somebody else's problem.
Exactly. That's what it is.
He didn't play meaningful basketball. I mean, in 2020, obviously, and then 2021. Kyrie's Kyrie,
like
and
said,
I wish him the best of luck. I wish him the best of luck.
He hasn't played meaningful basketball in Brooklyn. He didn't.
We were speaking of street clothes earlier, but the Bulls have decided to shut down Lonzo Ball. I don't mean to call him street clothes, but this man hasn't played basketball in 2 seasons now. 2 bad knees, and this is another one of the pieces that LeBron moved out of LA. That everyone was like, LeBron is going to regret doing it. This man hasn't played basketball in 2 seasons. LeBron has played great basketball in 2 seasons. Granted, he shut himself down early last year. He got the record this year. So, like, okay. But, like, what does this mean for Lonzo's career moving forward? And what does it mean for the Bulls? I think the Bulls are giving up on their season.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the Bulls right now, it doesn't make sense to keep forcing it. Right now, shutting him down for the season, it's February now. Your hope is the fact that between now and, come training camp next September and October, he's ready to go. But right now, if you're the Bulls, you have no reason to, like, if you're the Bulls, right? You look at your standing. You see yourself as number 11th in the East, right? Which means you are behind Toronto, Washington, Atlanta, Miami, New York, Brooklyn, Cleveland, Philly, Milwaukee, and Boston. If you're number 11, if you're Chicago right now, you've won 26 games so far. 26 games, you've lost 33. So what? 59 games played. You have 23 games left. What reason do you have to perform anything at this point? Right now, if you're Chicago, play your young guys, see what they could do, see who's worth anything, so you could like possibly trade. Exactly. If you're behind Washington at this point, something's wrong. So it's like so if you're Chicago right now, you shut down you shut down your guys. No, you shut down your guy, your main guys or whatever, or not your main guys, but you let the rules in play because he's going to play, he's going to do what he does, but you don't put any pressure on your team at this point. You just ask him to play so you can see what so you can see who's worth what. Because in the offseason, you're gonna have to make some moves if you want to win. So because of that, for Chicago, shut down. It's cool, shut down. What does it mean for Lonzo's career moving forward? It means now you have one more season next year to come out, improve, like you're worth keeping. Prove you're worth a spot on the roster. You have to prove yourself now because for the past since you left, matter of fact, since you got in the league, you have proven nothing. Like your father talked his way into making your number one pick. That's why it's your number two pick. Your father talked his way to making your number two pick.
I thought he was pretty good, before he got hurt. I thought he was doing well to redeem his reputation before he got hurt. But so injuries are unfortunate. Yeah.
No, of course. But I'm saying though, but injuries are unfortunate, but injuries are also part of the game. So when you get to that point, you're like, yo, you accept what it is. So with that being said, if you're Lonzo right now, you have next season coming up. You take the season. You take this, this off season. You take your rehab seriously. You put whatever you can. You put it into this off season. Well, your off season starts now. You put it into everything from now till till next October, November, and then you come out and you prove that hey, I am still that guy that that was doing all this stuff because I was injured. I'm still that guy who could ball. I'm still that guy because at this point now, I feel like a lot of guys are just like, yo, they just don't care about the game like they used to. They don't. These guys are like, oh, these guys care about more being the social media stars. They got care about doing everything else out off the court.
I think the money that you're making now is crazier.
But if you look at it though, the money you're making now, it's different. Like, oh man, I can make money in so many different areas. But you look at it, if you become the absolute best at what you do, what you're known for, what you came here for, what got you here. If you do that, the money will come after. Everything will come after. The sponsorship, the money, all that will come. But if you're like, oh man, you seem like if it seems like you play basketball, on half the time, you focus on basketball half the time, and the rest is just like whatever, then guess what? Your career is gonna show up. It's gonna show up in your career. And again, no matter how many shortcuts you take, it's going to show. And the end product is going to show. That's what it is. So when they say like, oh man, I can't believe LeBron's playing this well until he's 20 years. But guess what? Every year, I've seen LeBron improve from the time he got in the league up until about 4 or 5 years ago. He's just like, yo, at this point, I am who I am. I do what I do. And he's just like, but I've seen him. So it's like, I've seen him. And again, and this, I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, whatever. I'm just like, but it's like, yo, certain things.
LeBron can't shoot. LeBron can't shoot.
LeBron can shoot. Listen, LeBron had no mid range. He developed a mid range.
LeBron
LeBron 6'9", he can't play.
He can't shoot threes.
No, LeBron's 6'9", he can't play
1 through 5.
So now every single thing they had against him, he worked on. Melo's out of the league now. You know why? Because Melo was the same guy from the day he got in the league to the day he left.
Hoodie Melo, man. Don't talk about Hoodie Melo like that.
Hoodie Melo.
Don't talk about Hoodie Melo like that.
He was only Hoodie Melo in practice, bro. He was only Hoodie Melo in summer league. Hoodie Melo didn't show up into the court. So because of that, it's like those guys don't want to play ball no more. At least that's what he looks like. So that's why when a guy come out, talking about what he wants to do, how much he want to play, people's like, whoa, that's different. It's really not. That's how it used to be. But now guys are like, I'm making money. Who cares? So
right. And so the last topic of the show, this one is very special to all New Yorkers and NFC East fans. Mr. Danny Dimes is asking New York to give him $40 million a year because he thinks he's worth it. Watson? You're the New Yorker, so you start this one off. Like, I would ask Anthony, the NFC East guy, to start it off, but you're the New Yorker. So
I'm the New Yorker, but I'm also the guy who hates New York, who hates New York teams. So, but
right.
Here's the thing. I was talking about this earlier, with a friend of mine. If you can give Jared Goff $33 million, I think you can give Danny Dimes $35. I think you can give him.
Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl.
Jared
Goff went to a Super Bowl.
Did Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl because of Jared Goff?
It doesn't matter. Jared.
Rest. No, you know why, Mo? Come on.
No. Why? Listen. If we're gonna do that, then Josh Allen shouldn't be making the money. He shouldn't make the money he should be. He shouldn't be making that money.
Don't pay him then. I'm okay with that.
You know what it is though. It all comes down to the stupid Cleveland Browns. That's where it comes to. It comes down to the dumbass Arizona Cardinals. Those two teams set the fucking quarterback market. If we're being very honest, that is the reason why Danny Dimes can sit here and ask for $40 million. He is not worth $40 million. He had a great season last year, but he's not worth $40 million.
But the thing is though, okay, two things with that, right? We can both agree he's not worth $40 million. But like I said before, if you can give Jared Goff 33, you can give Danny Dimes 35. It makes sense. Bro, listen, you can.
But he doesn't want 35. He wants 40 plus.
Bro. But things are also the game is supply and demand. That's how it goes. If you don't pay Danny Dimes, right? What's your next best option as a Giants right now?
You trade him with Tennessee and you get Rent. You trade him with Tennessee.
Bro,
I don't know. You're right though. The supply and demand. If you look at the quarterback market, there's nobody out there. Yeah.
So because there's nobody out there, yeah, he's asking for a ridiculous price that he's not worth. But at the same time, you think about it, you're like, yo, it's similar to a job saying like, hey, this guy hasn't been the greatest, but he's actually decent at what he does. However, if we don't pay him, we now go out and get a new guy. We have no idea what we're getting. We just paying for potential now. We just paying for what he might do. As of right now, you know what you're getting with that. It's like the devil you know versus the devil you don't. That's how it really comes out.
Correct.
Danny Dimes the devil you know.
I mean,
he played
very well under Brian Daboll.
You know for a fact that he's not going to give you Patrick Mahomes numbers. You know for a fact he's not going to give you even Josh Allen numbers. Regardless of how we like him, or he's not going to give you Jalen Hurts like Joe Burrow. He's not going to give you those kind of numbers. But Danny Dimes is the kind of guy like, listen, if he needs an extra 10 yards to make a play, and he can't find a receiver down the field, he's going to put his body on the line. He's going to put his body on the line for you and go for it. And a lot of times he will get it. You know that he's not afraid of taking a little bit of chance, but he's also he's also coachable. He will play within what you tell him. He will also do So this is the guy So is he worth the price? Perhaps not. But you say no to him, and he goes out somewhere, and let's say they pay him or they don't. He goes somewhere, and now you have to figure out a whole new system or a whole new quarterback. Because the Giants don't have a system where they could just pick a quarterback, and there's no quarterback in the league that's a plug and play for the Giants system right now. Because they're still figuring out the system right now. They have no receivers. Their last season was basically Saquon and Daniel Jones. So because of that, they have to figure out something. So now, do you let Saquon go, you let Daniel Jones go, and you start over? Or do you say, hey, you want $40 million? Let's say, hey, listen, say, Daniel, I can't do $40 million, but hey, can we come down the middle and say, people are saying you worth 30, you say you want 40. Can we come down the middle and say, let's meet at 35 and see if we could run this back? And you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to get you 35, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and get you a receiver or two with the money that that we're not giving you, because now we see what you could do, we see what the potential is. Can we go? Can we just give you? Can we come to understanding here, and then we'll get you some help. That way you don't have to work as hard as you did last year. If you do that, I think Daniel Jones say, hey, listen, you know what? I want 40, but I take 35 for it. If I take 35 and let's say three out of those 5 years or 4 out of those 5 years is guaranteed money, I'll take that. If you do that, I think you got something. Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be this football offseason is going to be a very interesting thing to watch because there's a lot of pieces that are moving. We don't know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this is the first big quarterback ask. I mean, we also know the Lamar situation, and because if I'm New York and Danny Dimes is asking for 40, and Lamar hasn't got paid yet, and there's a chance that Lamar could be a free agent. It's a 4-hour drive, my guy. it's a 4-hour drive, my guy. Like
listen, sir. It's a 4-hour drive for regular people, sir. It's a 30-minute private jet.
Yo,
30-minute private jet, bro. 30 minutes from here to Maryland.
New York would, bro. I promise you, if New York somehow magically does that, I'm going to every game next season. If that is who their quarterback is, I'm going. I don't care about doing the shows anymore. I'm going to every fucking game next season.
So you say if Lamar comes to New York, I now have to drive to New Jersey every weekend. That's what you're saying.
Every weekend. You don't even have to
games.
You don't even have to drive, bro. Just take the NJT to Secaucus. Yeah, take the path of the NJT to Secaucus.
No, thank you, sir. I haven't taken a train in like 9 years. I don't plan on starting now.
Oh, no, shit. When I used to actually go into work, I used to kill. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. But no, it's definitely going to be the football season has definitely started off really interesting. There's a lot of things to watch and a lot of players to watch. Even this afternoon, AJ Green was like, "If you don't pay Jalen Hurts and you release him, release me because I'm going with him." I don't know what y'all are doing. Right?
You know why?
AJ Brown, not AJ Green.
You know why? He don't want to go back to
Ryan Tannehill for a couple of years. Exactly. He had Ryan Tannehill for a couple of years. I mean, Derek Carr is still a floater. Like, a lot of things have happened. The Colts have finally gotten a coach that is not Jeff Saturday. Thank God. Even I'm not a Colts fan anymore. Eric Bieniemy is
you're free agent
Commanders. No, I'm gonna settle because the Commanders finally had a black offensive coordinator in Eric Bieniemy, and everyone is saying the reason why he didn't get a coaching job is because Andy Reid calls the plays and he's just there to be a body. It's very, very, very degrading thing to say about a grown man. But I am here for basketball is like this is the good basketball is about to start being played. I mean, granted, good basketball is being played, but real good basketball.
Basketball that matters is about to be played.
Yes, basketball that matters is about to be played. In a couple of months, it's spring. Spring training starts, so baseball's coming back. Hockey's kicking off. It's in a couple of days. It's March Madness. Listen.
Oh, by the way, we need to listen. I need to start looking up tickets for March Madness right now because I need to be at March Madness games. I don't know who, I don't know where. All I know is I need to put up to March Madness game because I'm gonna tell you right now. I'll tell you the audience for free. A few years ago, I missed my friend's wedding because for March Madness game. They were playing at the Garden. Somebody got me like damn near courtside seats to March Madness, bro. I said, "Yo, I promise you." My brother used to work for Pepsi, and he got me damn near like courtside tickets to March Madness. I was like, "Bro, wedding March Madness, bro. I will send you a gift." I went to March Madness. So, with that being said,
wow,
when I want to watch competitive basketball,
horrible friend right there, guys.
What'd you say?
Yes, I'm saying horrible friend right there, man. I'll send you a gift. You know what? Don't come to my baby shower. Don't come to my housewarming. Go fuck you. It's like no, but no, all of these things are happening in sports, and I am excited. I am very much excited. I also the NFL draft is in August. Things are coming. We're and then the XFL and USFL are they're looking really good. Did you see any of the games this weekend?
Right now, first of all, you know me, bro. If there's two kids in the park throwing the ball around, I'm watching it. So for me, I'm okay. Again, give me sports. Give me more. Give me some good sports. I'm watching them. So I'm good with it.
This is the space where sports is like literally thick, bro. Like it's everything is happening.
Yes.
So great show, Weston. Thanks for technical difficulties aside, it was pretty good. All-Star game needs fixing. I don't know how. I personally don't necessarily know how to fix it. Brings the stakes back because these people need to be playing for something other than one player getting the MVP. Maybe an entire team.
Proves you're the best in the world.
Maybe an entire team. Maybe the winner gets MVP, or the winner gets like their favorite charity gets money, because then these guys will actually play for something other than themselves. They're playing for themselves now. Make the dunk contest good again, man. Like seriously, there's so many things wrong with sports.
Have some superstars, have some all-star participate. Have some actual stars participate.
Right.
That's it.
With that, we're gonna leave you here, and we'll catch you again next week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Anthony, for participating. And peace.
Peace.
Play ball. There you go. There it is.
There's a winner. Look at that.
Back. Gone. We have a chance.
Showdown.
Yankees 12, Red Sox 11.
He's gone. He could.